Did you know that just because someone desires you, it doesn't mean that they're capable of loving you? Think about that and let it sink in. Desire, it's instant, it's a reaction, it's cheap. But love, now that's a choice, that's effort, that's work. Most people can be drawn, to your body, your energy, your vibe, but very few are built to carry your heart. In today's world, people confuse, being wanted with being valued. They confuse passion with purpose. They're flattered because, they texted you, you're hooked because they chased you for a week. But the truth is, desire without character is dangerous. It's like giving the keys to a Lamborghini to someone who's never driven a car. It'll look exciting, but they're gonna crash it, and your heart is the one that's gonna get totaled. This video is not for people who want fairy tales. It's for the ones who've been through hell and are done playing games. If you're tired of giving your heart to the people who were never ready to hold it, then you need to watch this till the end, because once you understand the difference between desire and love, your entire approach to relationships will change forever. But before we continue, if you find yourself questioning whether you're in love or just afraid of being alone, then make sure you watch this video right here. I dropped some hard gems that, you might want to hear. And if you get any value out of this video, then make sure you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. I think we're currently at like 340 at the time of filming this video. And if we can get to about 500 within the next, 4 to 6 weeks, around 4th of July, then that'll be awesome and highly appreciated. And also, make sure to go follow me on Instagram for some extra behind the scenes and more relationship advice and motivational content. I post there daily, so, it's another platform where we can connect. But anyhow, back to today's video. I believe attraction is biological. It's easy, it's reactive. It's your body saying yes to someone's image, their energy or their presence. That part, it doesn't require depth, commitment, or even basic respect. But love demands your soul, it demands your patience, your discipline, and most importantly, it demands your character. We live in a world, full of people who crave attention but hate responsibility. They'll pursue you hard, make you feel, seen, hype you up like you're their entire world. And the second that consistency is required, they disappear. And it's not because you're unworthy, it's because their attention span was louder than their integrity. Let me give you an example. Think of a sparkler, right? It looks bright for 10 seconds, but it dies fast. But a fireplace, it's slow to build, but it warms the whole house. Most people you meet are sparklers. They look exciting, but they burn bright. But, they don't have the fuel to keep you steady. Don't confuse that temporary blaze for lasting love. And here's a deep thought. Some people, they desire you because you reflect what they lack. You become a mirror to their brokenness. They want your light because they live in shadows. But wanting your energy, it doesn't mean that they're ready to protect it. Some people are hungry for connection, but allergic to accountability. They crave the emotion, but not the sacrifice. They want the outcome, but not the work. That's why Jesus said in Matthew 7:16, you will know them by their fruits, not their charm, not their words, their fruit. In other words, look at how they show up, not how they talk. Anyone can say, I love you, but love isn't a word. It's a decision you make every day, even when it's inconvenient. Think about this. Giving your heart to someone who only desires you is like planting seeds in concrete. No matter how much potential you bring, it won't grow in the wrong soil. You'll think that you're not enough. You'll overwater it, over-explain yourself, overstay, all while they give you just enough attention to keep you questioning your worth, but never enough commitment to make you feel secure. It's like, imagine you're a priceless piece of art, but you keep hanging yourself in a thrift store. Of course, you won't be valued. It's not that you're not worth it. It's that you're showing up in places that were never meant to hold something as rare as you. So you got to stop letting people browse your soul like it's on clearance. And I get it. Being desired, it feels good. It validates you for a moment, but that feeling is a trap. And when it's not backed by consistency, it creates an emotional addiction. You keep going back to someone who gives you just enough hope to stay, but never enough love to grow. That's not love. That's emotional manipulation, dressed up in attraction. 1 Corinthians 13 doesn't say love is loud. It says love is patient, love is kind, love keeps no record of wrongs. So if someone is constantly making you feel anxious, confused, or unworthy, you're not in the presence of love. Now, this is why boundaries are everything. Because when you don't have standards, desire, well, it feels like love. You start mistaking someone's effort in the beginning for a long-term pattern. But what matters, it isn't how they start, it's how they show up when things get hard. Can they love you through your silence? Can they show up when you're not easy to deal with? Can they stay when you're not perfect? Real love is revealed through consistency, not chemistry. So how do you protect yourself? Well, you stop being impressed by energy that can't sustain. You stop handing your heart to people who haven't earned your trust. You stop, mistaking compliments for commitment. The next time someone comes into your life, don't ask, do they want me? Ask, do they have the capacity to love me the way that I deserve to be loved? That one question will save you years of heartbreak. Now, let me be brutally honest. Most people, they aren't ready for the level of love that you're capable of giving. They want parts of you that benefit them, your attention, your loyalty, your energy. But the moment that you need something in return, emotional maturity, spiritual depth, accountability, they shut down. Why? Well, because they came to take, not to build. You can't build a kingdom when someone only wants the crown. So here's your wake-up call. You got to be so rooted in your worth that desire doesn't move you. That attention doesn't impress you. That validation doesn't manipulate you. Because when you finally stop chasing potential and start demanding purpose, the whole game changes. You become unavailable to people who are not ready. And when you do that, you don't just protect your heart, you elevate your life. Because a person who's meant for you, they won't question if you're enough. They'll show you with their actions, with their consistency, with their character. They won't just desire you, they'll choose you all day, every day. Hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, then don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. Speaking of subscribing, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. I think at the time of filming this video, we're probably at about, 347, roughly somewhere around that area. So my goal is to get to about 500 subscribers early in the summer. And so hopefully we can achieve that with the help of you, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, my final message is, don't look and settle to be desired. Look for someone that you could build with your soul, not someone that can, just looking to burn with your body. Which, by the way, we're over here in Manhattan Beach. This is Rosie, by the way. I think this is the first time she comes out in this video. So, any message you want to say?
Follow.
Go ahead and check out some of my other videos as well. I got a lot of videos with a lot of gems. If you haven't checked them out, go ahead and check them out. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got for today. We're going to continue walking. We're just, every time we walk, it's like, it's therapeutic. We clear our mind. We think of things. When we try to embark on our next endeavor, whether it's a business endeavor or things that we want to accomplish, taking walks down the beach, it's very therapeutic. It clears your mind. It helps me think better. So, and we get to spend time with each other. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much it. We're going to continue walking, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.